Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to a brand new career mode episode. Last episode we ended up buying our first car, we ended up taking a challenge from one of our viewers, and frankly it ripped, and I am so excited to keep working on this thing in this episode and potentially making it faster, but let's find out. So here we are, outside Chinatown once again, and oh my god, I am so happy with this car. Now, first things first, I want to say thank you so much for the support over in the last video. You guys killed it, and I appreciate it massively. But right now, we have 10 grand to play with, and maybe even a little bit more if we check our milestones. So, as you guys know, just click all of those milestones, it goes crazy. I'm just gonna get rid of all of these. Awesome. And that puts us up to 14 grand, so that's actually a little bit more money. Awesome. So in between episodes, we have also added a few other bits. We added brakes, I believe, and we've lowered the suspension and upgraded some of it also, just to make it more appropriate for the task at hand. However, today we're finally diving into the power, and that is something that this car needs a ton. Now, I will say, I don't want to go supercharger route on this. I don't think it needs it. We don't need a whole lot more power, but we do need something. So let me quickly find engine, which is under subframe. That's why I couldn't see it. And we are gonna go tubular exhaust headers, of course. We are also going to go for the quad carburetors. Now, as you can see here, it does clip in through the hood. So we are gonna need to take care of that real quick. Coming over the hood. Now, I don't know if I want like a scooped hood or something. Oh, that's not enough. Scoop brace. Yeah, that's just silly. So I think I might just go cut. I think I might just go this actually. I think this works better. It suits it a little bit better. Get rid of the hood lettering. We don't need that. So next up, I think we should just do a little stage 1 engine block. I think that will be more than enough. And oh my god, look at all these 6s down here. That's ridiculous. I will also add an adjustable rev limiter. We are getting expensive very quickly, and I think that should be enough. I was gonna add an exhaust, but I don't really enjoy the way that it will sound. Apparently we've only put the 4-speed manual in it. I thought we had the 5-speed. Okay, so 5-speed it is. We're gonna go 5-speed, and then we're gonna go ultralight flywheel whilst we're here, just to spend some extra money, and boom. So, now that we have a really expensive Barstow, I think we use one of the brand new career features and try the performance index, see where we're at, see where the car is in terms of power, in terms of quarter mile and all that stuff. So let's just get straight into it. Here we are lining up at the quarter mile. The AI is doing all of this for us, so we actually don't need to touch it whatsoever. And then there we go, there's that launch. It doesn't look much faster than what we had it, but I'm assuming it will be. We also do need to adjust the rev limiter here a tiny bit, but quarter mile at 13.7. Not fantastic, but this is not meant to be a drag racing car, so I think that's not too bad. I do, however, want to raise the rev limiter, so I think it's time to do that. And we've only got 275 horsepower. Yikes. Wow, okay. Maybe our performance additions did not add up enough power. So let's see what this does. Hopefully it doesn't blow it up. Now I'm really hoping that this car can handle this rev range, because it's gonna be so much better. It seems to be fine right now. Okay, it dies out around 6k, so we do need a bigger engine block for this car. We do seem to be a tiny bit faster though, 200ths of a second faster, so something did work. But again, we need a little bit more than that, I think. We definitely need a little bit more than that. Same power figure, so yeah. So here we go, we have now installed a stage 2 performance block, and I'm really hoping that this actually gives us a lot more power. Okay, it likes the RPM a lot more, that's a really good sign. Hopefully it revs out past 6 though. Just over, okay. Definitely too much RPM, but it does seem like it has a bit more power. Yes, 13 even, almost, and I think that's gonna be enough. I frankly I don't think it needs much more than that. So I think now it's time we take it out to the other time trials. Yeah, 324, that's much better. Like I was saying, I think we take it out to the time trials, and let's start finishing those off a little bit, because I have another plan for this car at the end of this episode, and hopefully I don't need to change it too much. So let's get there and then go from there. So, a small change of plans. I read the comments on the last video, and one very lovely viewer mentioned that I did not freestar the solar sprint with the upgraded car. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and away we go. Now this car is slightly more upgraded than you saw, because I'm adding this on after the end of this video. So kind of a Back to the Future moment going on here. But very, very quick, and you may be able to see some of the upgrades that I did, and some of them you cannot, but I'm sure you can hear them. But a very, very fast car. It is phenomenal right now. The way this thing is handling is absolutely incredible. We just gave ourselves a bit of an alignment issue though, which is a little bit worrying, but we should still be able to absolutely smash this mission out without any even, a considerable problem, not even a little bit. Unless I do something silly like that. Okay. There we go. Big turn in. Oh my god, this car is just turning left and left and left. It does not like me right now. Big brakes. Big brakes. Oh my goodness. If these tires were able to get flat spots, they would have many by now. Oh my god. But yep, here we go. This is our final lap. Absolutely a dream to drive, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. I have slightly fallen in love with this car, with this combo of upgrades. But there we go. All done. Hopefully that is rectified for you. And enjoy the rest of the video. So here we are finally at the racetrack. Now, I do believe that we're going to be much faster than this ETKK series. However, this is all part of the fun, racing our own car, and we finally made it a little bit faster so we can actually let it a bit looser instead of it just being all on the street. So now is a good time as any to just let it go. Let it rip and let it just have a good time. Okie doke, there we go. We actually got wheel spin there, that was good. And then straight up to T1, we're going to be heavy on the brakes. I am extremely happy I upgraded the brakes, let me tell you. Now, mid-corner doesn't do amazing, but I'm sure we will absolutely clear this out without issue. There we go. A little bit wobbly. However, it seems to be handling everything pretty much fine. At least I'm hoping so. Oh dear, we definitely need to adjust some things, however. There we go, we are finally on to the pit straight, where we will be doing 105 miles an hour past the finish line. We still, however, do have 2 more laps to go as our brakes lock up. We need better pads apparently, because these are just not doing well. That or just a lighter body. Now, I will say that I think right now these challenges are very easy because, it's just the beginning of the game. However, towards the end, the time trials do get considerably harder. I do remember doing one, I think last update, I believe it was. And it was like a 20-minute time trial with an ETK, and you were basically going 200 miles an hour down the highway. So right now, this car, whilst it seems fast, I don't think it's enough quite yet. So we have a long way to go with this thing. But right now, we are absolutely smashing it. I think we're going to ace this one, and I can't wait to do a couple more of the next ones. Providing I don't bin it. Oh my god. Oh, handbrake. So we are definitely going to need that ultra performance radiator very soon, which I'm kind of upset about, because I thought the high performance would be more than enough. But again, I was wrong. Seems to be happening quite often. But here we go, I'll bring you back at the end of the lap, and then we can see how much money we earned from there. And across the line, let's freaking go. So, we got 4 minutes even. Let's hope that that was enough. Ooh, just about. Actually, a lot more difficult than I first thought. However, we did get, what's that, like almost 10 grand? That's some good money right there. We are up at 18 already after spending all of that money that we did earlier. Incredible behavior. So for our next little segment, we are gonna make a bit of an extended length episode for our members as a little thank you for everything that they've done and supported us through. And essentially, it's just gonna be, you know, more content, of course, and a little bit of behind the scenes and more information on upcoming events and maybe some mods that the team are working on. So there is like a body kit, for example, that still OEM is making that looks phenomenal, and that will be shown here very soon. But yeah, essentially, if you want some behind the scenes and to support me a little bit more, feel free to join down below. I think it is $3.99, so not too much. Consider it a cup of coffee. And if this sounds interesting, just, yeah, enjoy. But if not, the episode will continue straight after this little tidbit. Thank you. Okay, so we are back. We have just finished those events, and we are very happy with the outcome. The money situation is looking extremely healthy. We are at $53,000, and that's a pretty handsome amount. Especially considering I don't have a lot to do to this car for what we want to do next. Now the members found out in that video where we're going with this car, at least for this episode. But you guys are gonna find out real soon as we get to the garage. Okay, so we are at the garage again, and there's not a lot that we need to do to this car to get it where I want it to be for our next part of this video. So let's just get straight into it. Now, what's the race rear bumper? Because I'm kind of curious. Ooh. Okay, we're going for that. That just looks cool. Demonic trunk. Nope. That's just not what we're going for there. Plate spoiler. Maybe not that. Ooh, there we go. The Aero Sport spoiler looks good. But I've been pulling your leg enough. Let's just get into business. So my plan for this is let's just to do some drifting, essentially, and that's basically it. I mean, we have the power right now, and all we're really gonna need is some steering. We've got the steering box here. We can just go straight to the drift steering box. Doesn't cost us too much money. And then the main reason why I wanted to try the drifting with this is because we have some drift tires. Now, I don't know if they are like the vanilla drift tires or a little bit more grippy or something, but in this episode is where we're finding that out. So let me just get the rear tires sorted and up to spec, just like that. And now I think we're pretty much ready. All I'm gonna do is tune it a tiny bit. So the suspension is fine there, and I'm just gonna mess around. I'm not even gonna do anything too crazy. Maybe lower the rear tire pressures a tiny. Interesting. Okay, so there we go. That was really kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. However, let's see if we can get this thing nice and sideways. It seems like it likes spinning the wheels, but we might be too wide on the rear still. Oh, so we are still very grippy. Let me get onto a bit of a flat plane of ground. Okay, we can definitely make this work, I think. But I do want to do one more thing, and that is to change the color of this car, because this green, whilst it looks good, it ain't for me. I've never been a green guy, so let's get rid of that real quick. There we go. So we went for a nice brilliant red, I think it's called. And whilst we were there, I also went ahead and installed a better radiator because we were getting toasty. However, I think it's time to absolutely send this unit sideways. And if you're part of the members, you kind of know why. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, I hope. So let's get to the racetrack because I do think that is where the drifting events are. And send this puppy sideways. So here we are, and I can't tell you how much I'm actually loving this car in red. This looks freaking sick. But let's get started straight away. So Gymkhana Bootcamp. It's exactly what it sounds like, it's just Gymkhana. Get a feel for drifting in this beginner-friendly challenge is the description. And hopefully let's just get a ton of points. So accelerate to begin. Let's get straight on with it. Let's not mess about. Let's start hitting some cones. And of course this is like very Gymkhana spec. Most of you guys know what Gymkhana is. And if you don't, then you guys should look up the legend Ken Block. He was one of the OGs of Gymkhana situational videos, and honestly, they are a phenomenal watch. Now, I do want to just get this here. And then let's switch around just so we can up the multiplier that tiny bit more. Boom. There we go. Oh, wow. We almost got air there. That was interesting. And we only need 50,000 points, so that's not bad. We are at almost 20,000 right now, and we still have a minute left, so we should be golden. At least I hope. The car is doing very well though. The car is a tiny little bit grippy though, but it's doing good. It's doing fine. And I think this could be a great contender. Oh my god, I'm awful at this. So here we go again for the third time. I may have had to restart once or twice due to a few crashes, but we are here now, and fingers crossed we can absolutely smash it. So wow, this car actually is kind of nuts when you get an angle. It's almost a really good tire. I'm curious to see how this tire handles drifting around with I guess a Formula Drift spec for the FDRP stuff. It might actually be pretty good. Oh damn, I did not mean to collect those points there, but nevertheless we continue. Let's see if I can just smash some more. Let's not hit that thing again. I may have hit that once or twice. It is a pity that all of these things are in the middle here, because I would love to just, you know, not worry about hitting them. But regardless, we're good. Not even a drift route, but it gave it to us anyway. Oh, we have 20 seconds left, and I don't think we're gonna get that 50,000. Damn, we didn't even get the lowest one. That's insane. Jeez, so we finished that off with 38,000. Absolutely not the best. So we finished that one with 38,000. It didn't really count for some reason. I think this is one of the missions that is bugged. But we can do this one, however, and this one should be a little bit better. So let's give it a quick go. So here we are, Circuit Drift. We need 25,000 points and to reach a combo of 4. I can do that. I'm a professional drifter, that is. I mean, according to my Wikipedia anyway. That was a really rubbish joke. I don't have a Wikipedia. However, I do know that drifting closer to these walls does get you a tiny bit more points. So I'm going to take full advantage of that where I can, and hopefully not make a mess of it. Now this car is actually doing really, really well. I'm really enjoying it, I can't lie. And for what it is, I mean, 320 horsepower and what, 3,200 pounds? It does really good work. Now let's hope that I can keep it on the road for the rest of this. Oh, just shy of 25,000, but we did get 24. And I think that should be almost enough. So we got one thingy, but the money isn't counting, unfortunately. Boo-hoo. Anyway, let's try the last one. I think it's just the single swing. No, we can't do the single swing, and we can't do the corkscrew, so those are not available to us. Maybe it's because we're doing it in our own car. I wonder. That would be quite interesting. Let me try and get those done off screen and then bring you guys back to see if we unlock anything new. So we have done all of those drift events. We ended up actually needing to do all of them. So we got 3 stars on all of them, of course. Now that is how we unlock the advanced drive or drift series, sorry. And I think I'm gonna get started with the dockyard drift, and then from there just see what else we have to do, if anything at all. So I'm gonna head my way over there, probably sideways, and then we'll get into it. So here we are, dockyard drift, and I'm really excited for this one. However, I do expect us to maybe destroy our car a tiny little bit. Now obviously it looks like we're gonna have to do it in this car, so I will do that for the members. But of course I'm gonna make this one the normal video in our car, because I mean it deserves some love too, you know? So here we go, off the rip again. I completely forgot that it started off acceleration again. So this is us, and we're going sideways. Oh my god, this car with some tuning could be phenomenal. I think it would be dangerously good. I might actually have to use this in some upcoming events, and I think it would actually do pretty well. I could be wrong, but I think it could do pretty well. Now we need how many points? We need 15,000 points total, actually. Oops. Now I don't think we're gonna get there, but we will get the 6,000, just under 12,000 in fact. And I think that's enough. I think that's pretty good. So that gives us another one of our little tickets. That's good enough. And then we are gonna go over to the members and do it in the BX. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, after that event we have unlocked a few more, which you will see in future episodes, because for right now that has been us. And thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series and the car. Looks like we may have gotten rear-ended at some point. But yeah, that's been me. Please like if you've liked, dislike if you've disliked, but most importantly, please subscribe. So have a good one. Peace.